This seems like a small thing to me, but dual talent specialization. Now, you've never played Wrath, Duranasaur, so what do you think of this? Because I truly believe it should have been in Vanilla Classic from the start. I believe it should have been in Vanilla from the start. I think it was the single best quality of life change in the history of World of Warcraft.
I'm kind of torn on it. I do think that if they had put it in classic, it would have been pretty well liked, just because very few classes have a reason to be like one spec all the time, whether it's for raiding or for PvP or for just like, open world stuff. I don't know very many classes where it's just like one exact talent spec covers the whole board. So I think that if it was in like classic when it came out, my first gut instinct would be like, well, no, because like talent respec costs helps with like the economy and stuff. But knowing what I know now, it's like that's not going to matter.
Yeah,
Listen, you got
people
10K
just
gold to
don't-
go into
Yeah,
the
people just-
GDKP. And I don't know that you're 40 gold respec.
Well, and people that didn't have the gold just didn't respec, and therefore, I think PvP servers would have been much healthier. Because I've talked about this before, but I don't know if I've told you, Duranasaur. When I played back in original vanilla on PvP servers, the highest guilds still had, like, the majority of players were a cross hybrid PvE PvP spec. So you were like, anybody who rolled on a PvP server was basically there raiding to facilitate them PvPing more. And like that was a total thing. And so, but then going into, classic, everybody's min maxing, and then lots of classes, some classes could get away with kind of a hybrid thing, but like a warrior couldn't. Maybe horde side you could, because you could be like arms slam spec and be like okay-ish in PvP, but a fury warrior straight up was just a rogue without any CC, and so like I think it would have made PvP servers way more fun and just healthy, because even me who loves to PvP, I would run to dungeons, put on a shield and just let him kill me, then come back, put it, run a little bit further, let him kill me. Like, I wouldn't even engage, whereas if I was able to switch between the two specs, I would have, and it would have been a good time.
And I think there's a balance there, right? Because I think the min-maxing isn't going to go away, right? Just because we have dual spec. I think the min-maxing is at a different level than it was back when we played before. And so I do think there was a chance where it would be for raid nights, you still come with your, I would come with my holy and my discipline spec on my priest, right? And my discipline spec would be a PvP or a PvE discipline spec. Or the mages would come fire and frost, right? Well, and for different bosses, you'd have to spec something different. And so I do think that there was still a way to min-max that, even if it was just changing a couple talent points in one tree for a specific boss that would make it easier. Like, there would be those things. And so I think you'd still respec, right? Because I think you'd have your PvP spec throughout the week when you weren't raiding, but I think when you were raiding, you'd change that PvP spec back to your secondary raid spec.
So our two main tanks that we had in vanilla, I remember the guild would pay for them to respec over the weekends, because we raided 5 days a week back then, because we were a progression, like getting server seconds and stuff like that. So over the weekend, the guild would pay for the tanks to respec, because they were the only ones that had to be perfectly spec'd. Like, and this was before Fury tanks, and we used to wait for 3 sunders before attacking, and rogues used to faint every cooldown. Like, it was a thing. But so I'm interested, Duran, to see how much you like dual spec. I think you're gonna freaking love it.
Yeah, I think that's a big reason why, or maybe not a big reason, but that contributed to me, I think, not getting into arenas as much at the start of TBC, was knowing that, like, that's just a lot of gold to throw at something that I didn't even
Same.
know how much I would enjoy.
Well, and then like at the start of TBC, I thought, oh, okay, I'll make a second, like my warrior this time around will be just my PvP character. Come to find out, there's items that you really need from raid to be able to properly PvP correctly, right? So there was
Well, and I
that
think that's
too,
where I
but-
was at with
sorry,
my
I cut
druid,
you off,
right?
Duranasaur.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
No, but you were saying that's why you I'm not going to cut you off again. You go ahead about like at the start of TBC, like how you felt.
Oh, I mean, I think that, and this probably applies for Classic as well. There's probably a lot of people who would try either PvPing more or doing more raiding, like whichever discipline they are not a big fan of. They would try the other one, or they'd be more likely to try it if there was dual spec. Like I think I would have been more likely to do arenas and to PvP more if I didn't have this feeling or know that like, well, I'm just like not the right spec. So it's not going to be as fun. I'm not going to do as well. And if that was an easy, just like, oh, dual spec, easy swap, then at least I may not like love it, but I would have given it a better shake than what I did.